All right, welcome back, everyone. For this deep dive, you guys have really sent us some fascinating stuff
Yep.
about the universe, the future of being human,
Yeah.
and I think maybe even a little bit of science fiction thrown in there.
Definitely. Yeah.
What really jumped out at me
Uh,
was this research on how the Milky Way, our galaxy, is actually
Right.
hurtling through space
Yeah.
way faster than we ever thought.
It is.
A lot faster.
It's moving at an incredible speed.
Yeah.
Something like 1.4 million miles per hour.
Okay, I can't even picture that.
Yeah.
But what's even more interesting is this whole idea that
Yeah.
this insane speed, it's not just
Okay.
because of forces we already know about.
Right.
There's this mysterious void
Yeah.
that's been discovered, and it's seemingly playing a huge role
That's right.
in all of this.
Yeah. So to kind of understand this,
Okay.
it helps to picture the universe
Okay.
like a giant loaf of raisin bread
Yep.
that's constantly expanding.
All right.
So the raisins represent the galaxies.
Okay.
And as the dough rises,
Yeah.
they all move farther apart.
Gotcha.
So this expansion is happening everywhere,
Okay.
pushing galaxies away from each other.
Okay, so I get that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
where does this void fit into all of this?
Yeah. So
Is it like a giant cosmic...
it's not
Sarah
quite
Patel?
vacuum cleaner. It's not quite a giant cosmic vacuum cleaner, no.
sucking us in?
No, it's actually the opposite.
Oh, okay.
Like a low pressure zone.
Okay.
These voids have far fewer galaxies,
Yeah.
which means less matter
Less matters.
and therefore less gravitational pull.
less gravitational pull.
That invisible force that attracts things with mass.
I see.
So instead of being pulled,
Hmm.
and galaxies are actually being pushed away from these voids.
So it's more like a gentle nudge from a cosmic ghost town?
Yeah.
That's wild. But
Definitely.
didn't we used to think something else was pulling us in a different direction?
Yeah.
Wasn't there something about a great attractor?
Yes, the Great Attractor
Mhm.
and the Shapley concentration.
Yeah.
Both these massive clusters of galaxies
Yeah.
were thought to be pulling us
Right.
with their strong gravitational forces.
Yeah.
But this new discovery of the void kind of challenges that view.
Uh-huh.
It seems to be playing a more significant role
I see.
in pushing the Milky Way than we previously thought.
So does this mean, like, our whole map of the universe is wrong?
Well,
What other forces
That's a great question.
might we be missing?
And the answer is, we're still figuring it out.
Oh, wow.
This discovery of the void
Yeah.
is a major piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
It highlights how much we still don't know
Yeah.
about the universe and how scientific discovery constantly reshapes
Right.
our understanding of reality.
Okay, that is seriously mind-blowing.
It is, yeah.
It makes you realize just how much is still out there
Exactly.
waiting to be discovered.
Yeah. It makes you wonder what other mysteries and
Yeah.
possibilities lie ahead.
Well, speaking of mind-blowing possibilities, you know what else has me really thinking?
What's that?
This idea that people might be frozen right now,
Oh,
waiting to wake up in our future.
Cryogenics?
Cryogenics, yeah.
It's a fascinating concept.
It is.
It raises all sorts of
Well-
ethical and philosophical questions.
Right. And it all starts with this man named James Bedford, a psychology professor who died of kidney cancer back in 1967.
Back in 67?
He became the first person
Wow.
to be cryogenically frozen.
Yeah. And it was a very different process back then
Oh, yeah.
compared to modern cryonics.
From what I read, it sounds like
Yeah.
early cryogenics was like a super intense ice bucket challenge
Right.
with a side of science fiction.
Yeah. It may
Huh.
sound
They used ice baths,
rudimentary.
blood replacement. They even stored him in a styrofoam box.
It was pioneering work for its time.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And get this.
Huh.
Bedford himself
Yeah.
knew it was a long shot.
Okay.
He actually said, I don't have any hope
Wow.
that I will ever be revived, but I do this in the hope that this incredible science will
Wow.
benefit my children and my grandchildren someday.
Absolutely.
Talk about a leap of faith.
Yeah. And fast forward to today,
Wow.
we have Robert Nelson,
Okay.
the president of the Cryonics Society of California,
Okay.
who was actually involved in Bedford's freezing. He's incredibly optimistic
Oh, really?
about the prospect of revival,
Interesting.
not just for Bedford,
Wow.
but for others who have undergone cryopreservation.
I admire his optimism, but
Yeah.
isn't that a bit like saying
What do you mean?
we'll be able to upload our minds to
Right.
computers soon?
Yeah.
It feels more like science fiction than reality.
Well, his reasoning is based on the rapid pace of technological advancement since 1967.
Right.
I mean, we've come a long way from a time when men hadn't even walked on the moon.
That's true.
Think about it back then.
Right.
We didn't have GPS,
Right.
cell phones,
Yeah.
the internet.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
Right. Right.
He believes that the pace of progress is only accelerating.
Okay, fair point. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've definitely come a long way.
Yeah.
But reviving a frozen human,
Right.
that's a whole other level.
Yeah.
What makes him so confident
Right.
that this sci-fi could become reality?
He envisions a future
Yeah.
where we can not only repair the damage
Okay.
caused by freezing,
Uh-huh.
but also reverse the aging process itself.
Whoa, hold up.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking about
Right.
waking up from a really long nap.
Yeah.
We're talking about potential immortality.
It's a possibility,
Wow.
but it raises some serious questions.
Yeah.
Ethical,
Yeah.
philosophical,
Right.
even spiritual.
Right, like what happens to consciousness
Right.
during cryogenic freezing?
Okay.
If someone is revived centuries later,
Yeah.
would they still be the same person?
Right.
What about their memories?
Yeah.
Their personality?
And what about the soul?
Ooh.
If the revived person is not the same
Yeah.
without their soul,
Right.
is it really them?
It's a question that's been debated for centuries.
Yeah.
Does the soul, assuming it exists,
Right.
remain with the body after death?
Uh-huh.
Or does it depart?
Yeah.
And if it does depart,
Go.
can it return? It's
Right.
like something out of that supernatural,
Yeah.
all sorts of
Exactly.
soul-related complications.
These are questions that science can't definitively answer.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
It's definitely getting into some deep philosophical territory.
Yeah.
But even if we set aside the soul question,
Uh-huh.
the societal implications are huge.
Absolutely.
Imagine waking up. Yeah.
In a world centuries beyond your own,
Right.
would it be paradise
It's a fascinating
or a nightmare?
thought experiment.
Would you even recognize the world?
Trying to predict what the world would be like centuries from now is an impossible task.
Yeah.
But one thing is for sure,
What's that?
the revival of someone cryogenically frozen
Yeah.
would have profound implications for our understanding
Yeah.
of life, death,
Right.
and what it means to be human.
It's like a living time capsule.
Yeah, indeed.
Imagine the stories they could tell.
But there are also the ethical considerations
Oh, yeah.
to ponder.
We're talking about potentially
Yes.
extending human life indefinitely.
Yeah.
Which brings up a whole host of ethical dilemmas.
Exactly. If we had this power,
Right.
who would have access to it?
Yeah.
What would be the criteria for deciding
Yeah.
who gets to be revived?
Right. And what impact would it have
Yeah,
on
right.
society as a whole?
Right. It's like opening a Pandora's box of ethical challenges.
Yeah, but even with all these unknowns,
Right.
there's something incredibly exciting
Yeah.
about the possibilities.
It really makes you think about
Yeah.
the future of humanity
Yeah.
and what we might be capable of.
It certainly does.
This has been quite a deep dive so far.
Yeah.
We've gone from a cosmic void
Uh-huh.
pushing galaxies around to the possibility of humans being frozen
Yes.
and revived in the future.
And what's fascinating is that these seemingly disparate topics
Right.
are connected by a common thread.
Yeah,
The exploration of the unknown.
that's true.
Both the void and cryogenics challenge
Right.
our current understanding of the universe
Yeah.
and our place within it.
It's like science fiction
Yeah.
slowly becoming science fact.
Right.
So what does this all mean?
It means we live in a universe
Yeah.
that is far more complex
Go ahead.
and mysterious than we currently comprehend.
Right.
And as we continue to explore
Yeah.
and make new discoveries,
Right.
our understanding of reality will continue to evolve.
It's both exciting and a little bit humbling.
It is, yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
We're constantly learning new things
Yeah.
that challenge our assumptions and
Right.
make us question everything we thought we knew.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of science.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending quest for knowledge.
Right.
A journey of discovery.
Yeah.
With no final destination.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on,
Uh-huh.
I want to share a thought with you.
Okay.
This whole conversation has
Yeah.
been a real eye-opener for me.
Yeah.
It makes me think about all the things we take for granted,
Right.
our place in the universe,
Mm-hmm.
the nature of life and death. It's
Yeah.
like we're just scratching the surface of
Right.
what's really out there.
I couldn't agree more.
So what other mysteries and possibilities lie ahead?
Right.
What will the future hold for our understanding of the universe
Exactly.
and ourselves? I guess those are questions we'll just have to keep exploring.
Indeed, the journey of discovery continues, and
Yeah.
who knows what wonders await us on the path ahead.
That's right.
Yeah. Welcome back to our deep dive into the mysteries of the cosmos and the future of humanity.
It's amazing to think that we've only just begun to scratch the surface of these incredible topics.
Indeed. And speaking of scratching the surface,
Yeah.
One of the things that struck me about the void is that it really challenges our assumptions about how gravity works on a cosmic scale.
I was just thinking about that. We usually think of gravity as this force that pulls things together.
Yeah.
But with the void, it's almost like gravity is working in reverse.
Precisely.
Pushing things apart.
It highlights the fact that gravity isn't just about the amount of matter in a given space. It's also about the distribution of that matter.
So could there be other voids out there?
That's a great question.
And what does this mean for our understanding of the large-scale structure of the universe?
Those are excellent questions. Scientists believe that there are likely many other voids scattered throughout the cosmos.
Okay.
And yes, this discovery is forcing us to rethink our models of how the universe is structured.
Wow.
It's like discovering a whole new continent on a map that we thought was complete.
Wow, that's a great analogy. It really puts things into perspective. And it makes you wonder what other surprises might be lurking out there.
Absolutely.
In the vastness of space.
And that sense of wonder is what drives scientific exploration. It's about constantly pushing the boundaries of our knowledge and challenging what we think we know.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, let's circle back to cryogenics for a moment.
Okay.
I'm still grappling with the ethical considerations we touched upon earlier.
Yeah.
It's one thing to imagine reviving someone
from cryogenic sleep.
Right.
But what about their reintegration into society?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Would they have rights?
Exactly.
What kind of support would they need?
Those are incredibly important questions.
Yeah.
And honestly, we don't have all the answers yet.
Wow.
It would be like a time traveler arriving from centuries ago.
Yeah.
How would we help them adapt to a world so different from their own?
Exactly.
What would their legal status be?
Right.
It would require a complete reassessment of our social and legal frameworks.
It's like something out of a science fiction novel.
It is.
But it could become our reality.
Precisely.
What we think.
And that's why it's crucial to start having these conversations now.
Yeah.
We need to anticipate the ethical and societal challenges that such advancements might bring.
This reminds me of that episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Where they create a virtual reality world.
Right. To recreate deceased loved ones.
Right.
It really made me question the ethics of bringing back the past.
It did, yeah.
Even with good intentions.
That's a great example. Science fiction often serves as a mirror reflecting our anxieties and hopes about the future.
Right.
And these stories can help us grapple with complex ethical dilemmas before they become our reality.
It's like a thought experiment for the soul, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Cryogenics, artificial intelligence, virtual reality.
Right.
These advancements are pushing us to redefine.
You've hit the nail on the head.
What it means to be human.
These are profound questions that go beyond the realm of science and delve into the very essence of our existence.
It's both exhilarating and a bit daunting to consider all the possibilities that lie ahead.
And while we may not have all the answers, the most important thing is to keep asking questions, to keep exploring, and to approach these advancements with a sense of responsibility and thoughtful consideration.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time to take a short break.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
And I'm sure our listeners have plenty to ponder. When we return, we'll delve into some listener questions.
Sounds good.
And wrap up our deep dive into the void and the future of being human. Welcome back to the deep dive. I hope you've had a moment to ponder some of the mind-boggling concepts we've discussed.
Indeed, from the vast emptiness of the void to the potential for humans to cheat death, we've covered some truly thought-provoking territory.
And now we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
What questions or insights have come to mind as we've journeyed through these cosmic mysteries and future possibilities?
Perhaps you're wondering about the practical implications of this discovery.
Or maybe you have ethical concerns.
Right.
About the future of humanity in a world shaped by such advanced technology.
Whatever your thoughts.
Right.
We're eager to engage in the dialogue and explore these topics further.
You know, one question that's been swirling in my mind is this.
Yeah.
If we could actually revive someone from cryogenic sleep
right.
centuries from now, what kind of world would we be bringing them back to?
That's a profound question.
I know.
And it highlights the responsibility we have, not only to consider the scientific advancements themselves, but also the kind of future we are creating.
Exactly. We can't just focus on pushing the boundaries of what's possible without also considering the ethical and societal implications.
It's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
And it requires a shift in perspective.
Okay.
We need to move beyond the allure of technological progress and embrace a more holistic view that considers the well-being of humanity and the planet as a whole.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads with multiple paths stretching out before us. Exactly.
And the choices we make today will shape the destiny of generations to come.
I think that's a powerful way to frame it.
I know, it's crazy, right?
We are not merely passive observers of the future.
Yeah.
We are active participants in its creation.
And that's both empowering and a bit daunting, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's a call to action.
Yeah.
An invitation to engage in meaningful dialogue. And to make informed choices that will guide us towards a future that is both technologically advanced and ethically sound.
Well said.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this thought.
All right.
The future is not something that simply happens to us. It's something we create together. Through our actions, our choices, and our collective vision.
What mysteries and possibilities lie ahead?
Yep.
The answer, in many ways, is up to us. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the cosmos and the future of humanity. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the extraordinary. Until next time, keep diving deep.